Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're watching Batman on film.
I have given a name to my pain. The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham.
You don't really think you'll win, do you? I'm Batman.
Hey now, welcome to episode number 46 of the Batman on Film vlog. I haven't done one in a month, Rick. I looked at the last one I did. It was April 6th, so yeah, basically today's the 5th of May, so.
The last one you did, I think, was a reaction video to
We did
Avengers.
Joker. No, I didn't do the Avengers. Oh, I did. Oh, well, I did that one. Yeah. Did I count that as a vlog? I don't know if I numbered it 46.
I don't know, did you?
Not. I don't know.
Well, just keep doing an intro here, and I'll check.
All right.
As you're doing that.
Anyway, we're going to make sure this is vlog 46. If not, it's going to be vlog 47. I am the founder of this here website, Batman on Film. I am Jett Ramey. And with me is, of course, Rick Shew. Rick, you've done one. You've done a vlog after me. So
I don't think that you labeled it, Bill.
okay.
You just start talking about the movie, and you have it Jett's first Avengers Endgame reaction.
All right, good.
All right,
okay.
so we got that cleared up.
All right, so this is either vlog 46 or 47. So
Well, you didn't.
Let's
you
roll with it. Okay. So,
You didn't label it.
All right. So, all right, Rick. Hello. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
You can't get that kind of entertainment anywhere else on the interwebs, can you? Rick?
No, it's nonstop. It's like, you know,
Yes.
we've been perfecting this act for some time now.
All right, yes. All right. So we have a packed show. We're going to try to keep within. We're 30-minute men when it comes to these vlogs here, right? Right, Rick?
We try to be.
I mean, for the most part.
Yeah.
We've gone close to 45. We've never done a hour vlog or 4-hour vlog or podcast, but anyway. So what we're going to talk about first. Let's talk about Batman 89 because you saw it, I saw it. We're going to see it together. I got freaking a stomach virus Thursday evening, and I was out of commission until really I didn't feel halfway decent until yesterday morning. And so I didn't go to Dallas as we had planned, me and announcer Rachel, but you went ahead and saw it at the same location where we were going to watch it, and I saw it here across the highway at the Regal Lone Star 19 IMAX. And I got to say, Rick, I've seen that movie.
Well, before we get into the movie,
Yeah.
let me just say this. Let's not try to plan, this goes for you and I both, a watch party on the same day in the same city that Fan Expo's happening. That wasn't everybody that wanted to come to our BOF watch party, and lots did that were here in Dallas, were all at Fan Expo, every single one of them, which is understandable. But we didn't, I mean, our hands were tied. It wasn't like we had multiple days on this thing, right? It was one day showing. That was it.
That's it. We're not gonna
But
see
we
it
tried.
again. Yeah, it was
But
yesterday.
we tried. But I made it. I was
Okay.
there.
You know what's important? You saw it and I saw it.
That's right.
Okay. And like I was saying, I've seen this Batman film. I've seen the most of any of them because
Yeah.
in '89 I went and saw it. I don't know how many times in the theater. I had just graduated college, and I got my first coaching job in Humble, Texas, and I was not starting until late July. So I had June. I had all of half of May, all of June, and most of July to not do anything school related. And I went over. I went even when it started playing in the dollar theater.
Yep, me too.
And I don't know how many times I saw it in the theater. And then I went through like 3 VHS tapes, burnt them up. Wish I had one to show some of these millennials watching what a VHS tape was. And you remember that well, don't you, Rick?
I remember Beta as well.
Yeah, Beta. Remember the big? Do you remember there was a big debate between Betamax and VHS, and which one was going to?
I don't think I was privy to that debate. But
it ended up being VHS.
But I remember the post VHS that transitioned to Laserdisc when it was.
That never became anything.
No.
Yeah, and it basically went from your VHS, then it went to DVD, then it's Blu-ray, now it's 4K and digital. But whatever, Rick. I'm getting off on a tangent. So I burned up like 3 VHS tapes of it. I would go out at night, on the weekend. That's how I was in my 20s, and come in at 2:30 in the morning after having gone through like Jack in a Box or some 24-hour, you know what I'm talking about, Rick.
Sure. Come home drunk, you go get Jack in a Box tacos, you put in Batman.
Yeah, and sit there and watch it till I passed out or fell asleep. And anyway, the bottom line is I saw it more than anything, and I didn't know what the experience would be like except just to see it on the big screen. But I got to say, it was something else. To see it on the big screen, it looked and sounded awesome. Mm-hmm. It just did. I mean, I'm assuming I don't know. I didn't do any research on it, but it seems like they spruced it up or did something. I don't know. I can't tell you what they did technology wise or,
It's hard to say, but our frame of reference for 30 years has been TV.
Yes.
Most of which has been VHS, the occasional catching it on cable or popping in the DVD. I too have seen this movie more than any Batman film, and maybe more than any film. Period. It's up there. It's up there with Star Wars and Robin Williams' Popeye. Believe it or not, I can't even say sometimes I've seen that movie.
Speaking of Popeye, which is funny you bring that up, and I noticed it, but I never thought about bringing it up to discuss. Did you? There's a picture behind Knox at his desk.
Yes.
Of a Popeye blimp.
Yes. I remember seeing that when I was a kid. Yeah.
Well, that had to be intentional. I wonder why that.
Ask Mr. Uslan.
I will ask him.
You've got a direct line to him. Ask him.
I will. Okay. Good question. All right. So,
that is a good question. Yeah. No, I remember that. And boy, do I miss Knox. I don't want to get into Batman Returns, but one of the things that watching Batman again did was solidify to me all the bad choices that were made in the sequel as well. Just watching that movie going, this thing had so much potential. This should have been 3 films after this that truly honored that film.
In that universe,
I'll just leave it at that. But, look, it's funny. A couple people, I want to give a shout out to an old friend, Michael Clearman, who came out of nowhere to come see this and support BOF. And by the way, this cat rolls into the theater dressed as a Joker, a Heath Ledger Joker. And I'm sitting at the bar, and I don't know who he is. I'm thinking it's just some crazy drunk dude that's just left Fan Expo or is on his way. So I'm like, hey, Joker, let me get a selfie with you. He comes over, and we get a picture. And then he takes off his mask, and he's laughing, and it's my friend I haven't seen in 15 years. I knew he was coming. I didn't know that was him, and it was just a riot. So that's kind of how my day got started. So we were already having fun. And then one of my best friends since kindergarten showed up, and he had his son with him. Now, here's the funny thing. His name's Mike. So there's 2 Mikes here, Michael and Mike. Mike and I saw that movie together at the AMC, Mesquite, Texas. Gus Thomason is long gone, man. That's not there anymore. Probably 4 or 5 times, just he and I, right? Or and people with us. But I saw it with just him several times. So that was really weird to be sitting next to this dude. Here we are, mid-40s. And he and I saw this movie in the theater multiple times in the summer of '89. And I'm looking over at him.
And you were, you what, 14?
14. And it was summer.
You're going to 8th to 9th grade?
Going to 9th grade.
Okay.
Because I started, my freshman year of high school was 89, 90.
Okay.
And so then his son is there, who Carter is what, 11 or 10? I think he's 10. So he's there, and I'm looking down at him. I'm like, and he thought this movie was going to be in black and white. He asked his dad if it was going to be in black and white.
Really?
And so getting his reaction was also wild, and he ultimately really liked it a lot.
Had you never seen it?
No, and he didn't know who Jack Nicholson was, right? So at one point, Jack's on screen, Jack Napier, and he's like, "Daddy, who is that?" And he's like, "Just wait." So then I said, "Hey, Carter, be sure to pay attention to the scene," because I felt like he was getting lost in it a little bit and wasn't interested. But the moment that Jack Palance looks at Jack Napier and says, "I'd like you to take care of this for me," and he's like, "Who? Me?" And, he flips his card. It shows the Joker, and Jerry Hall walks in. That cool shot. That kid perked up. He's like, "Oh, this is the Joker." And suddenly he got invested in it. And from that moment on, he was in. He was in the whole thing. So, man, it was just so wild to sit there and watch that movie with someone I watched it with when we were kids, with his kid that was more or less the same age as we were. And then next to me, this 61-year-old man that was reciting the damn movie half the time. Michael Cameron, if you're watching. And that was fun. It was just a fun experience, man.
It was hard for me not to recite the movie. I will say that. And I sat by myself. And you know what? I'll say this. The theater was, it was about a quarter to a third full.
Yeah.
For a 1 p.m. screening. And so that's not bad. And
ours was pretty empty. But again,
yeah.
like I said at the top of the show, it was also Fan Expo Dallas. And a lot of the same people that would be going to see that movie were there. That's just a fact. So,
and they, maybe they even could find a movie theater that was closer to the convention center to be able to go see it and then get back to the convention. So instead of driving all the way up to Plano, but I'm not going to. I'm not here to review the film or critique it or anything like that. I mean, is it my favorite Batman movie? No, I love it though. I absolutely love it. And we were talking on the phone yesterday. It's because of the Batmania, the build up to that movie. The nostalgia of it is just, whenever I think about that summer of '89, and not even that, just from late '88, finding out that Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson were playing the Batman and Joker, and then all the the uproar over Keaton's casting, and then finally they I guess it was late '88. No, it had to be sometime in when was it? Maybe late '88, early '89. Before that sizzle reel trailer came out, they released a picture of Michael Keaton. I put it in an article I wrote. It's him in front of the Batmobile,
right,
as Batman, and it was either in Starlog or Comic Scene. And I remember seeing that going, okay, because the first thing I thought when they said Michael Keaton was cast as Batman, I said they're going to do a remake of the '60s TV show. It's going to be that kind of vibe, that kind of tone. And when I saw that all black bat suit and him, I said, okay, this is not Adam West.
And I tell you what, that suit is still one of my favorites. I know he can't move in it. I know he can't turn his neck. I don't care. They make it work in the film when he's up in the cathedral and he turns around. That shot,
that's a great shot.
It's a great shot,
and it comes up on him real quick. Right?
Still a great shot. Now look, the movie's dated.
Yeah, hey, look, it's full of great shots.
The movie's dated. Okay, it's 19. They were filming in '87, '88. Okay, it's dated, but it also at the same time holds up. And Keaton's Batman and Nicholson's Joker, those two guys carry that movie because it's not the greatest movie. It's not the greatest Batman story. It just isn't. It doesn't take away from my love for it. But the nostalgia and the actors and the way they bring these characters to life. And even though Heath Ledger has become you and I, and for millions of other fans as well, to date, the definitive cinematic Joker. And this is coming from two guys that are both excited about the Joaquin Phoenix film, and we both actually like Jared Leto's Joker. Believe it or not, we do. Yeah. But what watching this on the big screen reminded me of is that regardless of Ledger's Joker, the Nicholson Joker is still legendary, and there's room for both of them in this crazy world that we live in and talks amongst. It is so great. Now, yes, it's Jack being Jack, and you know what? It works. And that first scene when he walks into Palance's apartment, and he is, you can just kind of see the white on his face.
Yeah.
He's, you set me up over
Yeah,
a woman. Woman. You
it's-
must be insane.
That's what I was saying. It was.
It's just,
The way that film is lit.
It's so good,
and
man.
Just the scenes in that movie.
It's
I could have a vlog just on the great visual scenes from that film.
that scene is still so. Jack is dead, my friend.
Yeah.
You can call me Joker. And
Yeah.
as you can see, I'm a lot happier. And it still gives me goosebumps.
Your
It's a
life won't
frickin'-
be worth spit. Yeah.
Oh, I love when he imitates Jack later. He's like, and you are my number one, and I mean, it's just, and it's legends. I mean, Jack Palance is in this. Billy D. Williams. That's another thing I forget sometimes. How we're talking about what I said at the top of the episode here, and I don't want to get into this too much, but like, why wasn't Billy D. Harvey Dent in one of the sequels? Why so much wasted potential there? And he's just such a cool Harvey Dent, and it was cool to see him because sometimes I forget he's in it. Like, I mean, I know, but just sometimes it just goes off my radar because he's Lando. He's about to return to episode.
You don't think about him.
I'm like, that's Billy D.
One of the actors who played
Harvey Dent,
the first actor to ever play Harvey Dent in live action, actually.
Right. And I give them a lot of credit for casting a black actor in those days to do that too. Like 87, 88. It's just cool. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, it was. I hope if you went and saw it, I hope you enjoyed it. I know a lot of people complained that it was not anywhere near them, and I don't know what sort of numbers of how many theaters it played in and whatnot, but I mean, I know this in my area it was pretty. I mean, it's in the Houston area, so I mean it was pretty. It was many theaters were showing it, so people had opportunity, but maybe some of the more smaller areas of the country couldn't.
And I wonder if it would have been better served just isolating that film and not doing all four at once or back to back. I don't know. Just thinking from a part.
This one is a double. The 89, you're celebrating the 30th anniversary of Batman, as well as the 80th
anniversary
Batman, and that's why they're putting out the other three movies as well.
It'll be real interesting to see.
I mean, hell, they put out the Dark. That part of that was, the Dark Knight trilogy was screened, and that was very limited. That was like only 4 or 5 places in the whole country.
Have you got an opportunity to actually talk to Ryan about his experience watching those again?
Yeah, a little bit, yes.
I was jealous. Yeah.
I mean, I went and saw Dark Knight last August up in New York, and it was great to see it on the big screen again. And I think, that's the thing is, Rick, we may not get a chance to see Batman 89 on the big screen again. This might have been it,
Yeah.
Maybe do a 50th, hope, knock on wood.
It's still just so good, and Michael Keaton is just such a badass. I love him. I love him in that.
You know what ever struck me? How young he looked in that movie.
Because he jumped in age quite a bit to his sequel. I mean, not intensely, but you could just tell he's a baby in 89.
Like he was 37 or 38 when he made that movie, made Batman.
Yeah.
And he was, right at 40, 41 when he made Returns. But he just... I mean, just because I'm mainly comparing him today, I mean, he's aged relatively well. The guy's almost 70,
he's great.
He's only 70 years old, but, I mean, he looks like he's almost 70 years old. And there's nothing wrong with that, 70s,
and now he's a great Spider-Man villain.
70s and the new 40, they say. But
and now he's a great Spider-Man villain, along with the guy that I wanted to be Batman, Jake Gyllenhaal, but that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah. So, if you saw it, I hope you had fun. Just judging from the reaction on Facebook and Twitter, it seems like everybody, so many people, Rick, and never saw it on the big screen, and it makes me feel, I guess, old in a way, but also it makes me happy. These guys will say, I was born the year it came out, never saw it on the big screen. And you're thinking, okay, well, you're a kid. Well, yeah, you are, but they're also 30 years old. It's not like they're...
You're a grown man. You're a grown man or woman.
Yeah.
Hey, Liz, so I put on Twitter, I said it made me feel both young and old. It made me feel young because it really took me back to the summer of 89, especially considering I'm sitting next to a guy I saw it with several times. But it also made me feel old because I'm like, yeah, but the summer of 89 was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
When you put it in perspective like that, that's 3 decades ago. It's like five presidents ago. I mean, it's just kind of depressing.
Hey, look, Michael Uslan texted me after and said, Was it like seeing it for the first time again? I said, yes, it was in a way. It really was.
That opening
Yeah.
shot
Yeah.
with the two muggers.
Yeah.
And that whole sequence and Batman opening his cape for the first time and jumping down and
Yeah.
it was just as beautiful as it was the first time I saw it.
I know that you are not going to see any of the others, but I am next weekend going to see Batman Forever, which I have a soft spot in my heart for. Now, there's nothing. The nostalgia over that one is nothing even the same stratosphere as the '89 nostalgia I have for that, and the love I have for '89. But I still have a soft spot for that movie.
Well, Batman Forever is by far the best sequel out of these four films.
I'm just glad. I'm glad they're putting all four of them out. You know, I'm glad.
No, I am too. I hope. I'd be interesting to see if anybody goes to see Batman and Robin. I don't know. Maybe
make a joke out of it or make it
Yeah.
fun. I can actually. I'm getting off a tangent. I can actually watch Batman and Robin. I still can't watch Batman Returns. I just don't like that movie. But anyway, it's moving on. We're gonna talk Batman again here, but about Batman upcoming, not Batman 30 years ago. We're gonna talk about Matt Reeves The Batman, and there was a report this week. It wasn't in a trade, but it was. Golly, was it Boris Kit? I want to make sure I give the right person.
Well, I sent you a link to a tweet from Boris Kit about the filming.
Then it was Boris Kit then. All right, so I'm going to make sure I get that correct. But he's basically said he's hearing that they're still polishing the script, and it looks like that production is going to get pushed back to early 2020. I'm not shocked. I mean, I always thought that an early 2020 start of filming was more reasonable and more likely than like November, because basically you're going to start and then you're going to stop during the whole holiday season, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, and then get started ramp up back again in January. So look, I have no problem with it. And I know here's the thing, we got to talk some people off cliffs here, Rick. So immediately people were like, "Oh, this movie is effed up. It's not going to happen. Next they're going to push the release date back and blah blah blah, and the script's in trouble and this and that." I mean, what? So
clickbait.
Yeah. So
that's just clickbait, man.
But people believing that? I'm just talking about the fans' reaction in general.
Right.
Fans,
no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I know, but you're saying that you're seeing more of that from
fans.
People, from fans. I'm sorry. I thought you were seeing articles on that.
No, I've seen some of that. There was some.
Okay.
There was.
Well, there's certain. Yeah.
I don't pay attention to those sites, but.
We live in a world now where everything's a play-by-play, and we are altogether too privy to how the sausage is made, and it's ruining people's experience for movies. And I've said that now for 2 or 3 years, and I say it again here today. Just chill out. It'll be fine. They have to get this right, and if this was the pre-internet age, we wouldn't even know about all this drama. We would just know when they started filming, and then we would just we would take the movie for what it is, and we would judge it based on the movie, not the backlog of drama.
It's comparing it to Batman '89. Me going to the mall, into Walden Books, and reading little blurbs that would come occasionally in either Starlog or Comic Scene about Batman '89, and then it's nothing like it is today. That's a great point to bring up. We live in the world of everything's a play-by-play. It's a great analogy, absolutely. But come on, guys. Just think about the way it was in '89, where you knew nothing really. I mean, you may get a blurb here and there in either Starlog or Comic Scene, or something would show up on Entertainment Tonight. But I mean, then you went and saw the movie. That was the thing. Now fans want to know everything, and they want to know it yesterday.
Right.
And
it's a give it to me now generation, and that's because of internet, and it is what it is. Yeah. Just chill out. Don't ruin a movie for yourself. Don't ruin it. Don't write it in your head. Don't let the pre-production, or even for that matter, the production, sway your opinion. Don't go in with anything other than a clean slate and judge it a little bit, obviously based off the trailer. That's fair game. But all this other stuff, just let it go.
Yeah, I mean,
let it go.
oh, just wait till this thing is finally when casting starts being announced and we find out who's Batman. There's going to be a freak out over that.
Of course.
No matter who is cast.
No matter who it is.
If they had technology to actually take the comic book version of Bruce Wayne and make him some sort of, clone him into an actual human being, people would complain about that.
Right.
They would complain about that. So
right.
Anyway, I'm not worried. The film is still over 2 years away, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
June 25th, 2021 is 2 years and 2 months away?
Mm-hmm.
26 months from release.
It's going to be here before we know it.
It will be, but that's a lot of time for get this movie made properly and have plenty of time to do that. Yeah.
Now I am ready for some announcements. I am ready for things to get rolling with it. Just that's the fan.
Well, I just want the excitement. It's the funnest part. It's fun.
Yeah.
The casting, and then you see the new Batmobile and the Batsuit, and then you get little teasers and all that. That's coming. Okay, relax. Be here before you know it, and like you said, it'll be here and gone. Here and gone.
Here and gone.
Yeah. All right. Let's finish up with Endgame reaction. The Avengers Endgame. Both of us liked it, but to varying degrees.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say this and all that because you're more passionate about it than I am. I did do a reaction video. I thought it was. I really liked it. There's some parts I loved, but I thought it was just. I didn't love it. I didn't love it overall. It was just a little too much for me at times. Too many characters. I will say I like the Hulk and I like Thor a lot.
Well, and let's also say this is not a spoiler-free conversation. So if you haven't seen the Avengers, turn this off at this point and catch us next time. If you have and you're with us, let's keep talking here.
Yeah.
So for me, I've never loved an MCU film that is a team-up movie. Just not because I've shut that off. It just naturally.
Have you ever loved an MCU movie, period, other than this one?
Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming.
Like you would.
Spider-Man Homecoming
resonated with you like.
And I borderline loved the Incredible Hulk and the first Iron Man. Great fun. Ant-Man's great fun. There's a lot of love. Probably Homecoming. I love that movie. It worked. I remember I was just smiling ear to ear going, man, I like Spider-Man 2 a lot. It's still probably the best Spider-Man film, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, but all the other ones were just kind of, I could take it or leave it, including the other two Raimi films. But Homecoming just worked. I just felt like they got the character right. Tom Holland was great. Everything was great. The thing about Endgame for me is how surprised I was how much I loved it. I'm watching it and I'm going, man, I don't even feel like I'm watching in a lot of ways a comic book movie. There were so many scenes like with Captain America and Black Widow when they're talking about just coping in this world that they now live in. And, she's trying to deal with, she can't move on. He's talking about moving on. He just came from a therapy session with a guy talking about dating again. And this is a good step in the right direction. All that stuff. I'm like, man, this could have just been in a dramatic film and not have anything to do with comic book characters or superheroes. It's just so well done. And then all the I almost want to say father-daughter themes. There's a lot of that, but not just father-daughter, but just parent-offspring themes. I mean, obviously with Tony, the stuff with his kid, and at the end when his projection and he's looking at her and she's exactly where he knew she would be, I guess, and repeats his line to her, "I love you 3000," to the stuff with his dad, which was like, I feel like I was watching Field of Dreams and Avengers, and it worked. To stuff with Thor and his mom, for that matter, with Thanos. with Ant-Man and his daughter, when he shows back up and 5 years has passed and he sees his daughter, he's like, "You're so big, you're so big," and he's looking at her. All that is just, the acting was just so great. I don't know, man. I loved it. It really worked for me. And I don't like what they've done with Hulk the last several films. And this hybrid thing that Bruce concocted was not only brilliant for Bruce to do in the confines of the universe, but as far as also the filmmakers, it was just, for me, it was perfect, because you're not going to take him back to the way he was, because then that wouldn't make sense. So they were able to satisfy someone like myself that was kind of bored with him and thought he'd kind of become a punchline, and really made him interesting. And I just thought all that stuff was great. Dude, when they went back to 2000, whether it been 11 or 12, and Banner's watching himself as Hulk, smashing things around and throwing the cars, and he just kind of puts his hand over his head because he's so ashamed and embarrassed by his behavior. That stuff was just funny to me. And you like Thor, right? In this?
I did, yes.
Yeah, Lebowski.
Yes. That was, yeah.
It was just funny. It was funny. Dude, I choked up several times. I laughed out loud several times. I was on the edge of my seat. When they came back and fixed everything, but at the same time, Thanos also shows up from the past and destroys their headquarters at the same moment. They bring everybody back. I'm like, oh my God, I can't. Here we go again. We're gonna get this resolved or not? And even the second time I saw it, anyway, man. I gotta say, Avengers Endgame is one of my, if I can lump the Dark Knight trilogy as one film, because I like to cheat that way, I'll put Endgame in my top 5. If I have to count each Dark Knight film separately, man, it's definitely in my top 10. It still may even be in my top 5. I need to see it again and digest it a little bit. But that's how much I love that movie, man, which is really crazy.
It was just too much. And then, look, a lot of times I judge these films, and it's probably unfair because, even though the Dark Knight trilogy is like one big story, they're also, each film is kind of its own thing, and you can see them without having seen the others to a certain degree. You have to have seen almost all of the Marvel films to even get what was going on in Endgame.
That's the purpose of it, though.
Exactly.
They world built, yeah. And look,
look, props to them for doing that, but it's not my thing. And look, I'm not a Marvel guy, so
I don't think you need to see all the films. I haven't seen all the films. I've missed. I think I counted 5. I've missed, and Captain Marvel was one of them. So
yeah,
there's right, and I still, obviously, I'm sure that when I go back to see some of these films, because I will visit them, I will watch them. I'll go, oh, that's tied into that. But I watched Infinity War again after. Did I watch it before my second viewing or after my second viewing? I think it was before my second viewing. Anyway, neither here or there. And I'm like, good movie, well done, masterfully crafted, just still at the end of the day, pretty good, fun Avengers film. And it just still, to me, makes Endgame makes it look like child's play. But I was glad I did watch it again also because, A, I do like it. Secondly, there were things I caught on this screening that made things that happened in Endgame better. To your point, there's a lot of that. But that's the brilliance of it, I think, is that you don't necessarily have to see all the films. Now, I had a buddy who reached out and said, I'm going to take my girls to see. Do I have to know the other movies? Like, how many have you seen? He said, I don't think I've seen any. I go, oh, dude, why bother? You're not going to know anything that's going on. You're not going to be invested in these characters whatsoever. I guess you can still just go, and it's a spectacle. But to see all 22, I don't know. Maybe a more hardcore Marvel fan would kind of, that would be their war cry as well. Make sure you see all 22 films. But I will say this. I want Marvel to be Marvel. And I was joking on our Facebook page when someone was talking about a Justice League film or whatever. And like, I don't want to open up that can of worms necessarily. I just want to say, and I was halfway joking. I'm like, but really? Can you get a team up movie any better than this one? Maybe we should just let stand for the next 20 years.
I was going to segue just to finish up and not spend
like 15, 20 years
of time on this. But see, look, there was 5 to 6 minutes of Endgame talk, not 4 hours. So there you go. I saw someone, and this was what brought. I'm working on an article, and I may do something with talking to Mario from Revenge of the Fans about doing a point counterpoint article thing, and he published his on Batman on Film, and I published mine on Revenge of the Fans. My take is that after Endgame, okay, and after all this, and especially when you throw in the BBS / Justice League factor, it is almost an absolute moot point for them to try to have this overt shared universe like this 22 film MCU thing. It's no point in it.
Well, I don't know if there's a point. I'm just saying, for me, Bill, it's just, and I'm halfway joking, but it's just to me, it's so masterful that it's going to take a while to even be able to top that anyway.
Well,
and
that's part of the point.
Yeah.
Is Marvel did it,
right,
and it's
they
done.
killed.
You now do something different, okay? Do what's worked for you.
Right.
Solo films that mostly their own thing, which they're doing. They've said it much publicly, and I think that's the route they've got to go. I will say this stuff like Joker, these completely what's the word I'm looking for? I'm talking like standalone films that are just, they're completely 100% their own thing in their own world, with different takes on these DC characters. That's something that Marvel hasn't done yet, and DC's doing it. Yes, I applaud you. You were first to do that. Keep on doing that stuff.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Marvel does, man, because are they going to try to just reset and world build up to another Avengers film? I seriously doubt it. Not right now. They're going to let this breathe, and it'll be interesting to see what route they take. I would love to see a spinoff of Captain America. I love that whole passing of the torch, and that whole sequence was just wonderful. I want to see some of that. Obviously excited for Spider-Man: Homecoming. I would say that I think we're safely to say that we're done. I'm not Spider-Man: Homecoming. I'm sorry, Spider-Man: Far From Home. Yeah. As soon as that reaction, I caught what I said. I think that I would like to see that Hulk retired and Hulk rebooted down the road, and revisit the tone of the Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton, and maybe start from there in a few years. There's a lot of possibilities, a lot of potential. But hats off to Marvel for pulling this off, man. It's look, regardless of what level we have of fandom towards these films, it's an impressive feat, and there's no denying that whatsoever.
Yeah, I would not try to argue that it wasn't.
Yeah, no, I know you wouldn't. I'm just saying it's great.
Like I said, I just said it a second ago. Marvel did it. It was a risk. I mean, look, if Iron Man had not been a success, we never would have got here. Mm-hmm. And look, quite frankly, that was a risk. Casting Robert Downey Jr. As Tony Stark when that film came out, and look, he was the center of that universe.
God, he was good. And his performance at Endgame is like, great, man. And he was coming off a lot of controversy in his personal life, and things where he had to kind of do a big reset professionally.
Yeah, it was hard for him to get work. For a while,
yeah. And then look what they got from him. I mean. How do you recast that? You don't for a good long while.
No, you don't. You
just don't. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to step in those shoes. No. The next Tony Stark on film should be like about a 5-year-old right now. I'll say that. But I want to go see it one more time at least, Bill, because I want to see it in IMAX, because I saw it in XD, which is not quite the same thing. But I haven't gotten my Star Wars trailer, because I saw it at a press conference or a press screening, and there was no trailers for that. And then for whatever reason, my screening didn't have it, even though my Cinemark corporate buddy was there the night I was there to see it with my friends, and he's like, "Yeah, the Rise of Skywalker's trailers. Wait till you see it on the big screen." And my screening didn't have it, so I got to go at least one more time for that. You're done, right? You're not going to see it again?
I'm not going to see it again.
Yeah, in the theater.
I doubt if I'll watch DVD. It's not my. I'm not a Marvel guy. Okay, I'm just not. It's not my thing.
You like Spider-Man though?
I have a clarification. Spider-Man and the Hulk, I really like. In fact, Spider-Man may be my second favorite character behind Batman. He's right up there with Superman.
He's awesome, man.
because I became a fan when I was a kid. The old, the '60s animated series. Spider-Man does whatever Spider can, spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. And then they had that 77, 78 TV show on CBS for Spider-Man. It was cheesy as hell.
You're talking about on the electric company?
No. Even the electric company, him being on the electric company was cool. You don't remember the set they had on CBS had a primetime live action Spider-Man.
I think I was just a little too young for
TV
that
show.
But I remember him very well on Electric Company. In fact, I gravitated towards that versus Sesame Street because of Spider-Man.
And then I was a Spider-Man fan, and Hulk, that classic '70s Incredible Hulk TV show with Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno.
Just still good.
Yeah, yeah.
It's cheesy, but it's good.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man's on a roll right now, dude. Spider-Verse was freaking awesome. I love Homecoming. I hope Far From Home is great. All right.
Okay.
Can I just say one quick thing?
Yeah.
Yesterday was also May 4th, which was Star Wars Day. And I just want to shout out and say rest in peace, Peter Mayhew, who brought Chewbacca to life. That was a big loss for Star Wars fandom. Dude was freaking awesome.
Was he still playing Chewbacca?
So the last time he played Chewbacca was in The Force Awakens, and it was as I understand it, he was just in the close-up shots in the Millennium Falcon, and then when he's sitting getting a little medical attention towards the end of the film, that's him. All the stuff where he's standing and run around is Junus. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, forgive me, but the young man who now plays him full time, right? So both of them played him in The Force Awakens, and then Peter officially retired, and then Junus played him in both The Last Jedi and Solo, and in Episode 9.
Okay.
So that just like he lived here in Granbury, not far from Dallas. He made Texas, North Texas, a home for him for the last 20-something years. Just a cool dude, class act, and brought a lovable, memorable character to life. And just wanted to say shout out to Peter Mayhew.
Good. That was, yeah. How old of a man was he, Rick?
I don't know. It was, I think, early 70s. Not terribly old, but
wow.
He was just in bad shape, man. He's 7 feet tall and bad knees, probably bad heart. He died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Anyway, shout out to Peter Mayhew. That's all.
All right, then. So there you go. There's our first vlog with me and Rick in a month. We talked Batman. We talked Endgame. And I think that's going to do it, Rick. Anything else?
No, I like what you and Mario have up your sleeve. That's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah, it'll be interesting,
Right.
See how that plans out. Okay. Anything to plug?
Just follow me on Twitter at ShewRick, ShewRick, and just keep following Batman on Film.
All right, thank you for that, and please do follow Batman on Film. You can follow me on Twitter at Batman on Film and Batman on Film, Authoritative, Definitive,
and the Dadgum Original.
All right, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.